For centuries, the Batanes Islands were a remote, windswept paradise, admired for their breathtaking beauty and untouched landscapes, not for any strategic value they might hold. These islands, with their dramatic cliffs and serene ocean views, seem to exist in a world of their own, far removed from the hustle and bustle of modern life. Their rolling hills and iconic stone houses were known mostly to anthropologists and adventurous travelers, not to world leaders or military strategists. The Ivatan people, with their rich cultural heritage, lived in harmony with nature, preserving traditions that have been passed down through generations. Life here followed the gentle rhythm of nature, dictated by the seasons and the sea, far from the power struggles and political machinations of distant capitals. The farmers and fishermen of Batanes lived a life of simplicity and peace, their days marked by the rising and setting of the sun. But today, December 1st, 2025, Batanes is suddenly on the lips of strategists in Washington, Beijing, and Manila. The islands have become a focal point in international discussions, their strategic importance thrust into the spotlight. Its location, once a guarantee of isolation and tranquility, has become its most critical and dangerous feature. The islands are now seen as a key strategic point in the geopolitical landscape of the Indo-Pacific region. The islands now sit at the center of rising US-China tensions, a flashpoint in the Indo-Pacific. Naval vessels from both superpowers patrol the waters, their presence a constant reminder of the fragile peace that hangs in the balance. Headlines about fishing and festivals, once the pride of Batanes, have been replaced by news of military drills and diplomatic standoffs. The vibrant cultural celebrations that once defined the islands are now overshadowed by the looming threat of conflict. The world's gaze is no longer drawn by Batanes' charm and natural beauty, but by its pivotal role in a looming conflict. Journalists from around the globe have descended upon the islands, eager to capture the unfolding drama. The islands are now a critical piece on the global chessboard, their fate tied to decisions made far away in the halls of power. The future of Batanes hangs in the balance, as world leaders deliberate over its destiny. The tranquil paradise has become the stage for a superpower drama, its peaceful villages now under the shadow of military presence. The once serene skies are now filled with the sound of helicopters, a stark contrast to the quiet life the Ivatans have known. For the people of Batanes, the future has never felt more uncertain. As they look out to sea, their faces reflect a mix of worry and resilience, hoping for peace, but preparing for whatever may come. The change in Batanes is felt in the air itself, a new tension riding the wind, subtle yet unmistakable. The familiar saltiness now carries with it a sense of anticipation, as if the islands are holding their breath, waiting for something to unfold. Where fishermen once set out at dawn and farmers tended their fields in peace, the hum of military aircraft now breaks the calm. The gentle rhythm of daily life is interrupted by the distant roar of engines overhead, a reminder that the world beyond these shores is drawing closer. Gray naval ships dot the horizon and uniformed personnel, Filipino and American, walk the streets of Basco and Itbayat. Their presence is both reassuring and unsettling, a sign of protection but also of looming uncertainty. The island's tranquility is punctured by the unmistakable signs of strategic preparation. Military vehicles rumble along roads once traveled only by bicycles and tricycles, and new equipment appears in fields that once grew only root crops. Conversations in the market now turn from fish prices to radar installations and foreign soldiers. The chatter is tinged with curiosity, concern, and sometimes fear, as locals try to make sense of the changes happening around them. The sense of security that came from isolation has been replaced by the vulnerability of strategic importance. The once remote islands now find themselves at the center of international attention, their peaceful existence disrupted. New construction, piers, runways, secure facilities, signals a shift from tourism to military logistics. The landscape is changing rapidly, with each new structure a testament to the island's evolving role. Economic activity has increased, but so has unease. Shops are busier and there are more faces in town, yet beneath the surface, anxiety simmers as the community grapples with the unknown. For the Ivatan people, this rapid transformation feels alien and imposing. Their traditions and way of life are being overshadowed by forces beyond their control, leaving many to wonder what the future holds. Their home is now a forward operating base, a pawn in a larger game of geopolitics. The island's strategic location has made them valuable, but at a cost that is deeply personal for those who live here. The ground beneath their feet is being repurposed for a conflict they never sought. Fields that once fed families are now marked for military use, and the familiar landscape is being redrawn. The salt-laden air now carries the weight of the world's anxieties. As the wind sweeps across the cliffs and through the villages, it whispers of change, uncertainty, and the resilience of a people facing an uncertain future. To understand Batanes' new importance, look at a map. The islands guard the Bashi Channel, a vital artery connecting the South China Sea to the Pacific. Much of the world's trade, including energy for Japan and South Korea, passes through these waters. For China's Navy, the channel is a gateway to the Pacific. For the US and its allies, it's a choke point to monitor and, if needed, contain Chinese forces. In a Taiwan conflict, control of the Bashi Channel would be decisive. Batanes, with sensors and missile batteries, becomes an unsinkable aircraft carrier, dominating sea and airspace. Whoever controls Batanes holds a powerful advantage in any future confrontation. The island's value is now measured in nautical miles and missile ranges, not just natural beauty. The fate of the Batanes is now tied to the cold logic of global strategy. Batanes is no longer just land. It's a fulcrum of power. Batanes' strategic value is no longer abstract. It's being realized in concrete military action. The Philippines, with US support, is building up forces and infrastructure on the islands. The annual Balikatan exercises now play out on Batanes' shores, simulating defense against invasion. Marines are stationed permanently, and new weapon systems like anti-ship missiles and advanced radar are being deployed. The US is upgrading runways and pre-positioning equipment, turning Batanes into a key lily pad for rapid power projection. These moves are meant to deter China, signaling that any conflict over Taiwan would immediately involve the Philippines and the US. For Batanes residents, the drums of war echo uncomfortably close, turning their peaceful home into a front line. The military buildup is armed diplomacy, a message to Beijing, but a daily reality for the Batanes. The islands are now a tripwire in a high-stakes standoff. The Batanes face these changes with a complex blend of patriotism, anxiety, and resignation. Their lives, once defined by the rhythms of the sea and the land, are now shadowed by uncertainty. Each day, the community grapples with the reality that their peaceful islands are at the center of growing tensions. Many feel a deep pride in defending the nation's frontier, seeing the military presence as long overdue. For some, the sight of the Philippine flag flying alongside soldiers brings reassurance and a sense of national purpose, but the prospect of their homeland becoming a battlefield is deeply unsettling. The fear of conflict lingers in every conversation, casting a shadow over daily routines and family gatherings. Elders worry for their children's future. They wonder what kind of world the next generation will inherit and whether their traditions will survive the changes. Fishermen fear restricted seas and dangerous encounters. The ocean, once a source of sustenance and freedom, now feels uncertain and fraught with risk. The influx of troops strains water, electricity, and housing, even as it brings jobs and spending. Some welcome the opportunities, hoping for better livelihoods and improved infrastructure, while others quietly resent the disruption to their close-knit communities and the loss of privacy and peace. The Batanes are resilient, drawing strength from their shared history of survival against storms and isolation. Yet, the rapid transformation tests their unity and identity in ways they have never faced before. Beneath their stoic exterior lies a hope for peace and a wish that the great powers would play their games elsewhere, far from their cherished shores. They adapt, engage with soldiers, and try to preserve their way of life, finding small moments of connection and understanding amid the uncertainty. Their voices, concerned, patriotic, and proud, remind us of the human cost of geopolitics. Each story, each face, is a testament to their courage and dignity. The Batanes are caught in history's currents, but determined to endure, holding fast to their heritage as the winds of change sweep across their islands. China views the Batanes buildup as a direct threat. An active encirclement led by the US. Beijing's response is a mix of sharp rhetoric and subtle pressure, economic warnings to Manila, and reminders of deep trade ties. Chinese Coast Guard and militia have increased their presence, using gray zone tactics to intimidate and assert control. These actions stop short of war, but keep tensions high and remind the Philippines of China's reach. For Beijing, the military activities in Batanes are unacceptable interference in what it sees as an internal affair. Taiwan. The placement of US-aligned forces so close to Taiwan is seen as a direct threat to China's core interests. The dragon's shadow over Batanes is long, mixing indignation with strategic resolve. The islands are now a flashpoint in a contest for regional dominance. The military buildup has brought a surge of money to Batanes, jobs, rentals and business for local shops. For a province used to modest means, it's a sudden boom. But inflation is rising, and the economy is shifting from sustainable roots to a service model dependent on outsiders. Many worry this new prosperity is fragile and could vanish if the strategic focus shifts. Culturally, the influx of soldiers and contractors is straining Ivatan traditions and communal bonds. Elders fear the younger generation will lose touch with their language and customs. The landscape itself is changing. Stone houses and ancient markers now share space with bunkers and radar domes. The people of Batanes are trying to balance economic opportunity with the preservation of their cultural soul. The island's identity is at a crossroads, shaped by forces far beyond their shores. Beneath the headlines, Batanes' story is deeply human. Fishermen now hesitate before setting out, weighing family needs against the risk of military encounters. Mothers listen to jets overhead, pride mingling with fear for their children's safety. Young people put dreams on hold as tourism dries up and the narrative shifts from culture to conflict. The true cost of great power competition is measured in anxiety, altered dreams, and eroded security. The Ivatans are not just strategic pawns, they are a community with a right to peace. Their story is a reminder that geopolitics is played on the homelands of real people. It is they who bear the heaviest price. Despite the storm, the Ivatan spirit endures. For centuries they've rebuilt after typhoons. Now, they face a geopolitical one with the same resilience. Their strength lies in community. Payuhuan and Kapaivanu Vanua, cooperation and solidarity. They support each other, share information, and adapt to change. Daily routines continue. Nets are mended, crops are planted, Vakul headgear is woven. These acts are quiet defiance, a refusal to let military hardware define their identity. The Ivatan story is one of endurance, not victimhood. Even as the world's powers clash, the people of Batanes remain anchored by their culture and community. Their future is uncertain, but their spirit is unbreakable.